Hello everyone, this is Sumit Rathi here again. Welcome back to my channel called Walk of Life. Hope you all are doing fine. So today I'm here with the third episode of the series which I've just started called Conquer My MS Diagnosis Story. In today's episode, we have a wonderful lady who is our guest whose name is Renee Pettway. She's mom of two boys and let's hear from her side what her MS story was and how she dealt with it and how is she still dealing with it. So without wasting any time, let's just jump into the video. Hi there, this is Sumit Rathi here, and I have a YouTube channel called Walk of Life, and where this I have started after me getting diagnosed with MS. The intent was to reach out to as many people as I can. There is no boundaries what country you are from or where you belong to, whether you can speak English or not. I just wanted it to be like a common ground for many people who can be beneficial from these kind of videos, especially for the folks who are getting into this MS for the first time. And I know my thing, how helpless I was feeling at that time. And so that I'm just trying to create a repository for people so that they feel something to rely upon or fall back on. So that kind of thing I'm doing. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about how you got diagnosed for the first time and what your symptoms were and how difficult it was for you, so that people can relate to it.
Okay, so my name's Renee.
Mhm.
Um, I was just recently diagnosed just before Thanksgiving 2020. I am in the military, and I didn't start having symptoms until August 2020. And so um, I started to brush my own symptoms off at first, just because so my first symptom was my leg. It was like numb and tingling. And like I even had my son punch my leg, and I was like, I can't feel that. I can't feel anything. And so I kind of held myself back from going to be seen at a hospital or something, just because I had put on about 10 pounds, and I was like, they're going to tell me that it's like quarantine weight and you're just getting too heavy and you need to lose weight. They're going to tell me I need to lose weight. And then I didn't want to go to my military doc because I just got to a new base, and I was like, they're going to tell me I need to hydrate. They're going to tell me I need to drink water. Like, they're going to tell me all these things, all these other things are wrong. So I talked to my mom, and I told my mom what was up. I was like, Mom, look, I can't feel my leg like I should. And she was like, you need to go to the hospital right now, call the babysitter, everything. So I went to the hospital. They did a CT on my lower back. And they're like, yeah, you're fine. They discharged me. And I told my mom, she was like, go back to a different hospital, right? And so I went to a different hospital, one that's better in the state. I walked in, I was there for like 20 minutes. They took me into one of those side triage rooms, and the doc comes in. He's like, hey, do this movement, do your stretches, and I did them. And he's like, okay, I'm going to discharge you with a referral to a neck and spine center. And I was like, no, I'm not leaving. I need somebody to run tests. I need to find out what's going on with me. I can't feel my leg. At this point, it was like spreading up the side of me and spreading down further my leg. And um, he was like, well, there's nothing we can do for you. I was like, no, I need tests ran. He was like, well, what do you want me to do? And at this point in my head, I'm like, okay, what would Meredith Grey from Grey's Anatomy ask for right now?
Yeah.
And so I said, I need blood work. I want an MRI. And then he went one step further and did like an EKG and everything. So the blood work came back totally normal, just like a regular, like with the iron and all that.
Mhm.
And the MRI, though, he came into the room. He was like, hey, there's some signal areas, and it could be nothing, but we're going to refer you to a neurologist.
Yeah.
So this happened September 13th, around that time. And so the neurologist he referred me to didn't have any openings until December. And the one where because I drove 40 minutes to go to this hospital,
Mhm.
the one where I live didn't have any openings till November. And so I found a different neurologist. I had to drive 2 hours for this one, but they had a virtual opening sooner.
Okay.
So I talked to that doctor, and he was like, okay, let's do a nerve conduction test, EMG.
Mhm.
I did that. Everything came back normal. And at this point, the numbness in my leg is gone, but my fingertips like once an hour for like 30 seconds, they burn. They
Wow.
just have this burning sensation in them. And I lost feeling here on my face and my tongue. I lost taste in the tip of my tongue. And so with the loss of taste, I was like, oh my God, I have COVID. So I went and got a COVID test, came back negative. And so I'm like, all right, it's not just my weight anymore. Like, there's no way they can say I'm just like, I got too heavy and I'm putting too much pressure on my leg or anything like that. There's
You're
something
right.
up. So when the nerve conduction test came back with no issues, I messaged the doctor right away. I was like, what are we doing now? He was like, okay, we'll order an MRI. And I was like, okay, are we doing with and without contrast? And he was like, yeah, we can do that. And I was like, all right, are we doing the brain and the spine? He was like, okay, we'll just do the top of the spine. So I went in, got that done, and I have the MyChart app. So on MyChart, you can see the results once somebody like types in what's going on. And so all it said were numerous lesions on the brain. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. Oh my God, what's happening? So I finally got I did my MRI on a Saturday. So, right, I'm waiting the weekend to talk to a doctor again. And so finally the doc called me Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
on Wednesday, and he was like, hey, this is MS. Here's what we're going to do. You do have lesions. And he told me, hey, we're going to put you on Copaxone. So I literally just started my injections on December 20th. And then I went to an MS specialist within the same practice on the 22nd. And she actually showed me my scans because everything with COVID, everything's virtual. I didn't see my scans. I didn't have any information. So she showed me like the side by side of the scans I had in September and the scans I had in November when I was diagnosed. And she was like, you got 2 new lesions over the course of those 2 months. So that's what she's monitoring now, just to see like, is this medication going to help me and like keep them from developing? Because I guess that's kind of quick to get two new lesions.
Yes.
But yeah, everything since then has been going pretty well. I started the injections. They are not my cup of tea, but they help. So
They do.
yeah,
I'm really happy to hear that you are doing okay after this all bumpy ride. You're
yes,
finally at the place where you know what is wrong, because there was a point in your time, to me it comes out after hearing your story, is where you had no answers. Why you
hmm
cannot feel your leg, why you have numbness here, why you have no taste. I mean, your story is very informative, and one thing which comes out to me right there is you were so informative about what to do. You knew you need to see a neurologist. You told them that do MRI, do the blood work. Like, you were telling them what to do, where they didn't know that something is wrong with your body. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, you are the person who can feel your body better than anybody else.
And I think that's such a big thing with MS is these invisible symptoms where you say my leg is numb and they can't prove it. And
Yes.
all you can do is tell them this is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yes. To the normal person who doesn't know anything about MS, would think that we are crazy.
Because I
Yes.
understand that negativity after, because like when I got diagnosed and it was 2020, man, 2020, what a year.
Yeah.
And I was like icing on the cake. And so it was like, all right, I got to pull myself out of this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm really inspired by you, because you said that you work in military, and I'm sure it must be difficult for you as well to have diagnosed in this 2020, like you said, like this COVID even made it more worse than it should be. So I can just
Mhm.
imagine how horrific your situation must be. And you said you have a kid. How old your kid is?
I have 2 kids. They're
Oh,
5 and 2.
5 and
Um,
2.
yeah, and they're a handful. And so just the whole diagnosis just rocked my world. And even so, I'm kind of like you, where like that uncertainty of not knowing anything
Yes.
just eats at me. So when I found out I was diagnosed with MS, the military is still like it's up in the air as to whether or not I'm going to be discharged or not. So it's like everything in my life is changing right
Yes.
now, and I
Right.
just I kind of have to sit and just like force myself to be present right now and accept what's happening right now. So the kids are going crazy and making the house a mess, and I'm like, okay, just you get to have this moment. Just take it.
I'm 100% certain that it is going to be helpful for many people, because you inspire. Like I said, you do inspire. So keep inspiring, keep doing the good work, and keep raising your kids to be.
Thank you. And thank you for letting me do this and sharing your story with me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right, you take care.
Yep, you too. Have a
Bye.
good day. Bye bye. Hope you all enjoyed this third episode of this series. I'll keep on bringing the beautiful stories of us MSers in front of you, so that you all can be aware, you all can relate to it, and let's just create this whole MS world with a lot of our stories in it, you know, so that it can be helpful to a lot of us, especially the newbies who are stepping into the world of MS. So if you all like this video, keep sharing it, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and keep on supporting me. Thank you and love you all. Bye bye.